this ranking? I know you don't put much weight into it, but you're in the preseason top 10. What does that mean?
It means last year's team did really well. I mean, really, that's what it is. A lot of those rankings are based off of how the team performed. We return a lot. I expected that we'd be around the 10 range, and it really means nothing beyond that. Now it's about performance on the court.
18th last year going into the season, and this year you're 9th. How much progress is this?
Ask me in December. I mean, it's good for the program. There's no question about that. But it really is about where you finish. I don't even know if they know about it. It's not going to be something that we discuss. We're talking about getting better in the gym each time we have an opportunity. We're going to play. First weekend we play some phenomenal teams. So we'll get to see whether we deserve that pretty quickly or not.
You get more of a reaction. Go ahead. Do you get more reaction when you're talking to recruits if there's a number in front of your name, or do you talk more about the things you've done in the Big East and the things you've done in the NCAA tournament, which is a better selling point?
Both. I think obviously with recruits they want to know objective measures. So where you finish in a poll is going to matter. Where you play in the tournament, where you finish in your league. All those things are things from a recruiting standpoint that we talk about a lot.
So last year's was the finishing 9 was a big talking point this summer, then more than starting 9 would be.
For sure, yeah. I mean, for recruiting, and again, we finished there, so we're happy to talk about where we finished. But to start, it's like preseason player accolades. Well, it's really a compliment to what you did last year, so that's great. That's great. It's great for our program, but it's a new season. We've got to put it on the court.
You mentioned over the summer that you didn't sense any complacency. You almost sensed the opposite after what happened last year. Is that the kind of the sense that's carried over through the last month of summer?
For sure. Our strength coach told me today, I think it's the best summer I've had with this crew, and he loves the volleyball team. So I think it's a driven group. We recruit with the idea of not only recruiting good athletes, but we want players that are driven to be great. So if you are someone that doesn't really care and you're just going through the motions and you have a lot of God-given ability but you're not driven, this probably isn't the fit for you. So when you have a group of players that want to do the right things on and off the court, from not only volleyball but nutrition and sleep and social life decisions, then it's fun as a coach and you can see what you can do on the court.
And when you take steps from the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, this is a team that on paper could make the Final Four. Do you guys talk about that collectively, or is that inherent and you guys kind of don't even talk that way?
Well, inevitably, we set goals. So we set some objective goals that they talk about, but we really talk more about process. And so what that means is, what are we doing day to day to get better? If we have a practice that we're not great, that's really a step backwards. So those are the things that we lock into more. And again, so much of the things, we met with the nutritionist yesterday. We had our sports psychiatrist in today. So we do a lot of things that are, we're working on meditation and visualization. So when you're playing against great teams and you feel like you're a great team, it's a 1 or 2 point difference a lot of times. So you're locking into things that can make that difference to push you to the next level.
So you don't feel any pressure with this high ranking this year at all?
I think, sure, there's some pressure, but it's how you handle pressure. And so we've been dealing, I would say we've been talking a lot about that. Our sports psychiatrist came and spoke to me afterwards, and he told the team, the media is going to ask you constantly, Final Four, people are kind of obsessed with asking about that, and how do you handle that? And again, it goes back to process. We were 3 points away from losing in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. And so that gives you pretty good perspective of, you can do all the right things. That team did everything right, and had we lost, it doesn't mean the season was a failure. And on paper, people might feel that way, but you're not always going to win every match. You're just trying to take the right steps to give yourself an opportunity to win.
They're not only looking at what you did last year, but who you've got coming back. You've got 3 players that played in international volleyball, and one that didn't, that was an All-American. So how good is this team going into the season?
Well, I think we have pieces to be really good. Now it's kind of putting the puzzle together. But, we're strong on the pins. We've got great setting. I think we've got some really good ball handling. So I think we have pieces to be really good, and now it's plugging people in where we think we're going to be best and making some decisions, who's playing front row, who's playing back row, some of those nuances. But we definitely have talent. I think we have talent to compete at the highest level in the country. But so does about 15, 20 teams.
Have you ever had a team not respond well, or maybe get a little bit too engrossed with like the extracurriculars, the hype, the conversations that we might have with them? Like, distracted, I guess, by the expectations or the ranking or anything like that. Have you come across that before?
I guess the good thing with our program is we haven't faced that too. The good thing right now is we're facing it. Last year we kind of faced it, and the team obviously responded. We'll see now the expectations even go higher and become more difficult. I always say when we took the team from a 300 RPI to a 150 RPI, that was a far, far easier jump than going from 20 to 10. That's a really, you're dealing with incredible teams, incredible coaches, incredible athletes. So there is not much difference. So as much as the expectations go up, the challenges get tougher each year too.
Is it tough dealing with the target? People know what you are and what you're about now, even more so than it's gotten bigger each year.
I don't know. I think we're definitely not going to sneak up on people, but I also think our team believes in themselves more than they did maybe a year or two ago. I think a couple years ago, we felt we could compete with top teams and hope maybe we'd knock somebody off. I would say this group knows they can beat every team they walk on the court with. Now, I'm not saying we will do that by any stretch, but they definitely believe in what they're doing and the processes they're taking and the ability that we have, and then we'll see how it unfolds.
Lydia's coming back this year after an All-American season. How much has she improved, and what do you expect from her?
Lydia's one of the best setters in the country. She's really, really good. She's really driven. Again, one of those kids that isn't only just doing things on the court, but doing those things off the court to make her really good, and then showing a lot of leadership. I think where she's gotten really good is she's seeing so much of what's going on the other side of the court. So, the challenge isn't just to put up a good ball. The challenge is to get her blockers a single block every single time. And I think she kind of relishes that opportunity, And the good thing with our offense is that it might be Jaylee and Taryn on the outside one night carrying load, and if a team wants to fixate on them, then we'll pump it up the middle, and Lydia can see those things. So, and then coupled with she's a heck of a blocker. Doesn't help, it helps to be 6'3", and she's one of our best defensive players. So, we hope she has a great senior campaign.